Just like everything in the 70s, I was made in Taiwan. My family immigrated to the United States when I was 10 years old. We moved to Bolingbrook, Illinois. I was very active in high school. I played multiple sports. I played baseball, I wrestled, and I was captain of the football team. I met Shiro in high school, and we got married in the year 2000. We have 2 kids, Mason and Karina. Life for us was just beginning. I mean, we had very ambitious career goals. I was very active. I played a lot of golf. Really, we were just getting into the groove of being adults. And then I was diagnosed with young onset Parkinson's at the age of 27. I didn't know what to do. All I knew about Parkinson's was that it was usually a disease for old people. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't even tell Cheryl, at least not for a few months. I immediately went into denial. From the time that I was diagnosed, from 2003 all the way up until 2010 to 2011, I did nothing about my diagnosis. Unfortunately, that's not how you deal with Parkinson's. As time went on, the symptoms progressed to the point where I became less active, and I started gaining a lot of weight, about 80 pounds. And I needed a cane to walk.
It's not like Parkinson's hits you like right away. It is very gradual. In the beginning, it was little things, it was the twitches, and then the falls. Parkinson's was this shadow. It's just getting bigger and bigger, but you don't know what to do about it.
One day, sitting on an airplane on my way for a business trip, there was a Runner's World magazine in the seat back pocket, and I opened it, and there was an article in there about a person with Parkinson's who's running their first marathon. And that article inspired me so much that I told my wife that night that, hey, I would run a 5K, not a marathon, but a 5K. I started to do more activities, like walking around the block with the family. The walking became jogging, the jogging became running. And that was the beginning of my runner's high. I completed my first 5K in April of 2012. Within the next month, I did my first 10K. And then a couple of months later, I did my first 15K. And next thing you know, by September of 2012, I ran my first half marathon.
There's Jimmy Choi from Bolingbrook, Illinois.
As soon as I crossed the finish line in my first half marathon, I decided that I was going to go ahead and run a marathon. The Chicago Marathon 2012 was going to be my first. Unfortunately, it was a completely sold out race, and there was no way in except through charity. That's when I found Team Fox.
We started Team Fox almost at the beginning of the foundation. What we found is that people in various communities really wanted to raise money and awareness for Parkinson's disease. We met Jimmy Choi back in 2012. We make bids available for races, and he was interested in the Chicago Marathon.
They told me that there was one bib left. And I've always felt to this day that that one bib was meant for me. It was my first experience with Team Fox and the Michael J. Fox Foundation.
Jimmy took a single step, and it turned into a walk, and it turned into a run and jog, and then next thing you knew, he was racing. The foundation gives people a chance to engage, and engagement is empowerment.
Now with the exercise, he's more present. Yes, I still see the tremors, and there are some falls, but those bad days, I would say, are less.
Parkinson's sucks. I'm going to be very blunt about that. It sucks. There are days where I just don't feel like doing anything. But if I didn't have that positive mental attitude, I couldn't tell myself to get up, to say, I have a mission, and that is to stay active. Don't get me wrong, this didn't come overnight. I had to build slow. I'm constantly engaging my muscles, so Therefore, my resting tremors aren't as prevalent as they used to be. I've regained a lot of my balance, and I think a lot of that is due to the running and the repetitive motion and the muscle memory that I've built during all of these activities. And I find myself managing my on and off periods better after running. And as I continue to run, my off periods are shorter, and the effectiveness of my medication seems to be better.
It's pretty common that patients who find a way to exercise actually feel better. Patients are encouraged to exercise, and those who can do that, not everybody can, but those who can, it really can make a big difference for them.
When I was initially diagnosed, my doctor said you have a good 15 to 20 years before I would need some type of wheelchair or some other type of aid. Thinking back now, that would mean that I would, around 40 is when I would need a wheelchair. I'm 42 today. And just a few weeks ago, I finished my 14th marathon. 4 times what is 28?
7.
That's right. There you go. Nice. Mason, his smile can brighten up any room. Now, Karina, she's a chip off the old block. She loves obstacle course racing, and for fun, we watch American Ninja Warrior. Karina really got into the show, and every time the show comes on, she would say, "Dad, you should really try out. You should try to get on the show." I applied to make Karina happy. American Ninja Warrior actually called me, and they told me, "Hey, guess what? You've been selected to be a participant."
Jimmy Choi. He's a 41-year-old rookie who's also back.
Being on American Ninja Warrior is the most terrifying thing I've ever done, but it proved that I can follow my dreams and nothing can stop me.
Jimmy's story is an extreme example of the way the community is galvanized. Literally, everyone can't do what he did. I can't do it. But one reasonable answer to it is to get engaged in the community, get engaged in the fight, get engaged in research, get engaged in clinical trials. It's part of a call to involvement, and involvement has its own rewards.
I've learned there are positives and negatives to Parkinson's. People have said to me all the time, "Hey, Jimmy, you ran a marathon in 3 hours and 40 minutes. Can you imagine how fast you'd be without Parkinson's?" And I said, "I don't think I'd be running a marathon if I didn't have Parkinson's."
My hands on myself. Pick out dust and more, put them back up on the shelf. Yes, my little baby girl is in need. Am I coming out of left field? Ooh, I'm a rebel just for kicks. I've been feeling it since 1966 now. Might be over now, but I feel it still.
From Bolingbrook, Illinois, this is Jimmy Choi. He's running tonight for Team Fox. There's his wife and daughter, Karina, who got Jimmy to come out for this. You can see the trimmers in those hands. There he goes. Come on, Jimmy Choi. Woo! Nice grab.
My hands on myself. Pick out dust and more.